Hey, what's up? I tried too hard to remember a dream and now I can't think straight. This for the week of February 16th, 2026. This is a weekly recap. Bit of a slower week this week. I mean, comparatively, obviously. It's February. Things are starting to chill out from Christmas. Still, I guess. But like the last couple weeks were pretty heavy. This week, not so much, because it took me like 15 minutes to put together the script for this. There are two games coming out this week. I don't know. One is Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown, coming out on the 18th. Platforms for that will be on screen. It's a Star Trek game, and actually is hosting our Achievement of the Week this week, but I'll get to that here in just a moment. The other game coming out on the 19th, the very next day, is Styx Blades of Greed. I've been vaguely aware of the Styx franchise for a little bit, but I've never played it. I know it's a stealth game where you play as like a goblin, but that's about it. I've never really played it myself. We can go right to the news then, because it doesn't seem like we have anything else going on. So the state of play was, I think it was Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday. And as a part of the state of play, they made a few announcements. Chief among them is the God of War trilogy remake. They announced that they're starting that, and they'll soon announce that the game's coming out, but they haven't actually started work on that. I think that's lame to announce a game long before you even started on it. That's all they did. Was they had what's his name that played Kratos originally? I can't remember. I'm sorry. And Three Dog in Fallout. It sounds like they had him show up and be like, "Hey, we're working on it." No time scale, nothing like that. No gameplay, no images, no details other than we're working on it. They also shadow dropped a couple of games there as well. They shadow dropped a couple of side scrollers. God of War Sons of Sparta, which is a prequel about him being a Spartan. Kratos, I mean. And then they also shadow dropped Rayman 30th Anniversary Collection, which looks pretty cool. I'm not a big Rayman guy, but I'm sure those who are will really enjoy that game and all the offerings it has. So those were the two shadow drop games. They also announced a new Castlevania, Belmont's Curse. It's a side scroller again. Looks pretty interesting. It's another one of those franchises that I just don't have any experience in enough to comment on. But we're getting a new Castlevania. They also announced Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 2. So Metal Gear Solid 4 is free from its PS3 prison. So now you can actually play it on the Xbox Series X. I think they announced it for the Switch 2 and the PS5, as well as PC, obviously. So you can finally actually play those games again. That'd be nice. You don't have to fucking buy it on the PS3 store, which was my whole reservation. And I was like, I kind of want to play it, but not that bad. That's also bundled with Peace Walker. So it's just those two games. It's just Peace Walker and MGS4. I think everybody's more excited about MGS4, to be honest with you. I played a little bit of Peace Walker. I wasn't impressed by it, but I did just come off the back of the Metal Gear Solid Delta remake of 3. So, you win some, you lose some. They also, I don't know if they announced this or they finally showed it, because like I said, I really don't keep up with this kind of stuff. They showed off a little bit of a Legacy of Kain remastered. I'm sorry. So that game's getting a fresh coat of paint. Like I said, it's yet another one of those games that I don't really keep up with. But I'm sure the people who love those games are going to be really excited. I don't think I've ever played any of the Legacy of Kain games, which is misleading because my hard drive on my Xbox is called Nosgoth. I've never played those games, but the hard drive on my Xbox is named after the fictional world from it. It's not my hard drive. I inherited it from my stepdad, who called it Nosgoth because he liked those games. I've never played them. They also announced a John Wick game, which looks fire as hell. I never cared for John Wick, like the movies. Like, I watched the first one. I was like, oh, hell yeah. And I watched the second one, and I was like, it's getting kind of old. And then I didn't watch the third or the fourth one. Because, there are only so many directions you can take that. I just kind of lost interest after the first one. There was a marathon on cable, and I think I just stopped watching after the second one went off. I think it's a third-person action. That's what it looked like from the trailer. It's a third-person action. I am curious to see how they kind of meld the hand-to-hand and the shooting, because that's a big part of the character, I feel like. And I'm just curious as to how it's going to transition from a punch to a shoot. You know what I mean? They also showed off a little bit of the James Bond 007 game, 007 First Light, and I am really excited for that game. I have been since they announced it. I'm probably, not the biggest James Bond fan you'll ever see, but I liked the Daniel Craig movies. I know, fake fan. And, I thought they were really cool. I thought the action was pretty good. And I've been looking for a James Bond game for a while. Since those Daniel Craig movies kind of finished. I remember thinking, fuck, I wish there was a game like this. And I know there's James Bond games, but they're not the same. They're also really hard to find. They also announced a co-op update for Ghosts of Yotai that's coming out on March 10th. That'll be interesting to see, because normally the PlayStation exclusive games are a single-player experience straight away. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And, seeing a co-op update for one of their games is going to be interesting, to say the least. They also announced what looks like a new Dead or Alive. I don't know which number it was. I think they said it was 7. As well as it's either a remaster or a re-release or a port of the most recent Dead or Alive game. I probably should have done my research on it a little bit more, but I didn't. So, it's yet another one of those games where this might take you guys as a surprise, but I'm not a huge Dead or Alive fan. I've never actually played a Dead or Alive game. Shocking, I know. I like women. You'd think that women's number one fan would want to play the number one women game, but I don't care less. There's also been some rumors circulating. I don't know how true they are, and I don't remember if I said this last week, but there have been some rumors circulating that the Halo CE remake will actually drop in July instead of August, like everybody's been led to believe. But I'm looking forward to it. I really do want to play that game. We'll certainly see if it does, but at Mythic, we will certainly be playing that game. Among Us also made a strange tweet yesterday where they just tweeted a picture of a little silhouette, but it says we need to bring in it says something along the lines of basically it's hinting towards Phoenix Wright, and it looks like a Phoenix Wright skin or something you can wear in the game. And that's really interesting. I love it when games do crossovers like that, especially ones that work so well with the source material there. Because obviously Phoenix Wright is all about objection, telling if someone's lying. And so is Among Us. We have some interesting rumors for Resident Evil. Again, I don't really know how accurate these are, but this is what I heard via the internet. No real source on this, so take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of the salt. So Resident Evil 10 is rumored for 2029. So about 3 years from now. Code Veronica remake is rumored to drop next year, and with a Resident Evil 0 remake to drop in between that and 10. I would think that we would see RE5 before we saw RE0. RE5 has a little bit more love from the community than RE0, but I feel like RE0 is still wrapped up in that Raccoon City trilogy, and I feel like if they're gonna do 0, they should do 1 again on the RE engine, a little bit more updated. That would be my next step, is to, kind of stick with the Spencer Mansion. But again, if they don't remake 5 and they remake Code Veronica and 4, I feel like there's a missed opportunity there to remake those games in the RE engine and bring a conclusion to the story that RE4 and Code Veronica start setting up, about Wesker and all of that. That is concluded in RE5. RE6, that one I can't say deserves a remake. It was still relatively recent. I don't really think there's any saving it, making it better. Because the issues with the game aren't the gameplay or the graphics. The issues with the game are the bloated mess of a story. So you can't fix that. All right, so beyond the news, like I said, it's a very slow week for releases. Only a couple movies coming out. So there's I Can Only Imagine 2, which is a Christian movie, starring the guy from Heroes. Let me see if I can pronounce this name. Milo Ventimiglia. I can never pronounce that right. I'm pretty sure that's the guy from Heroes. Yeah, it's the guy from Heroes. So he's going to be playing the lead singer of Mercy Me. I don't know why they switched actors. I don't know where they're going to go with the sequel, because I thought the first one, which I have seen, is all about, writing the song I Can Only Imagine. Where's the second one going to go? I don't know. It's really not clear for me. But to be honest, I don't think I'm the target audience for those movies anyway. So I hope the people that are enjoy them. The other movie coming out, and these are both coming out on Friday for the record. Just like last week, just like the week before, they all come out on Friday. But you can also go see them on Thursday if your theater screens them a little bit earlier. Mine does always release movies on Thursday, but the technical release date would be Friday. The other movie is How to Make a Killing with Margaret Qualley and Glenn Powell. It's pretty much about killing all your family members to get your inheritance. So Glenn Powell is just working his way through his family to get that inheritance. It looks pretty interesting, at least. I do like Glenn Powell as a movie star. I think he makes good movies, at least since he had made a movie with Tom Cruise. He seems to not fuck around anymore. He made Twisters, which was one of my favorite movies the other year. And The Running Man, he seems really just as committed as Tom Cruise is to making these cinematic experiences that, aren't necessarily dramas or comedies. They're just sort of a fun time, like an action movie. But they actually have weight to them, which is rare. The achievement of the week this week is in Star Trek Voyager. It's in Klingon. Let's hope I can pronounce this. It'll be on the screen anyway. Hech lu me chach zlang. I don't speak Klingon, contrary to what I look like. That's for 10 gamer score, and that is unlock Klingon B'Elanna as a hero. I picked that one because it doesn't make sense. It's very hard to read, and I decided to set myself up for failure. Also this week, last week I should say, we released a few videos. We released Duck Dynasty, which fucking popped off. Thank you guys. That went crazy, and then we gained a bunch of subs from it, and I am very appreciative. I think at the moment it's up to about 750, which is insane. Thank you again, guys. As a part of that, what I decided to do, because you guys seem to enjoy those sorts of videos, those kind of throwback videos, is I've decided to start running a poll every week to see what I play. The poll actually ends today when this video is coming out. It ends tomorrow when I'm filming it, because I always film these on Saturdays anyway. If you're wondering why I'm ignorant of things that happen on Sundays, that's why. I film it on Saturday so that I can sleep in on Sunday and I don't have to worry about getting this out. On top of that, we released SnowRunner, which is hilarious, our funniest video yet. There's actually a short for it, which you can find on our channel as well. If you're maybe not sure, because I'm not a SnowRunner guy either. If you're maybe not sure about SnowRunner, I do recommend you check out the short. It kind of should assuage your worries at least. It's fucking funny. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm gonna play a clip from it here in a minute because it's also our video of the week. It is in SnowRunner.
Let's go, Chase. Since I don't have video, you're gonna have to catalog.
We're gonna catalog our adventures
Here
together.
we follow the wild bomb man as he treks
Yeah,
further
Chase
into
is
the
just over there
wilderness.
being a fucking reporter for goddamn bombs.
And as well, the last video we released was a RE2 speedrun, which was a disaster. That did not go well at all. But, you know, you win some, you lose some, I guess. But that was all the videos that we came out with this week, you know, beyond this one. Next week, I'm not sure yet what we're going to do. I kind of flying by the seat of my pants, guys. Like I said, the poll ends today, probably around the time this video comes out, unless it's tied, because then I usually make those videos on Sunday so I can get them edited and uploaded for Monday morning. So if you're watching this, I will say that the poll for next week, for next Monday, not the 16th, but the one after that, is likely live now. If not now, it'll probably be live tomorrow. I've not decided yet, but yeah, you can go watch that, or go vote for that, and then you can watch what you voted for. I don't know what I'm going to pick next week for the poll contenders, but I'm sure it'll be something interesting. But that's all for this week. If you like this video and you like the stuff we make, do consider dropping a like, a follow, well, not a follow, a subscribe, and a comment. It helps us out immensely, and we would greatly appreciate it. You guys don't know how much your comments help out, your likes, your views, things like that really go a long way in helping us get off the ground. See you.